today's post is strictly about equipment and what you need and what you don't need. You know, I'm not going to ever sit here and tell you that you have to have this lens or you don't need to have this lens. You know, I will say that, you know, the lens and the camera in general don't hold you back. I mean, unless you have a camera that's, you know, 15 years old, I'm sure that's a little bit of a hold back. But, you know, you can't even really say that, because I see a lot of posts on social media that are some of the most beautiful images I've ever seen that are still shot on film. And, you know, I don't shoot film a lot. I still dabble in it, but not a lot because it's expensive. It's cost prohibitive. And, you know, for the new generation of photographers that like to spray and pray, I'm not saying everybody does that, but the ones who do, you know, they couldn't afford to use film ever, even back in the day, even when it was cheap. You know, you got that one shot and that was it. So purchasing equipment that you perceive that you need, or that someone tells you that you need, just because it's brand new, or because it's a wide aperture, or it's faster focusing. It's relative to what you're going to do and how you're going to shoot. You know, I've been in this business since 1982. I bought a new system with the Canon, and I bought one of their L-glass lenses and the rest are their regular lenses, because they're going to do what I need them to do, and they're going to do it very well. Again, I have nothing against the 1.2s. I think they're beautiful lenses. I think they're sharp as hell. And I'm sure they're fantastic for, you know, for the purpose that they're used for. But, you know, for me, I bought this camera as an event camera and a studio camera. And I bought one lens for my studio use, which is the one I need, which is the 100mm. And for events, I bought the non-L glass, you know, 35, 50, 16, 85. And they work fantastic. I use them. The images are sharp. You know, I'm not going to shoot out in the rain all the time. And if I do, I'll take an umbrella. You know, if it just happens to rain on an event day, you know, it's cheaper for me to take an umbrella and hold it over a 50mm that I paid $199 for than one that I paid $2,000 for. Ooh, I don't have to wear an umbrella, but I'm going to get soaked. You know, anyway, and I don't mean to degrade this as much as I am. You know, I know there's a need for that type of glass, and I think it's fantastic that Canon is making such fabulous glass. I will own the 51.2 someday, but at this point I don't need it, and I can't justify it for the work that I'm doing. I can justify the 100mm because it serves several purposes for me. If I need something else, if I need a piece of glass that is specific to the job I'm doing, I'll rent it. You can rent a piece of glass and send it back, and you'll spend $200 versus $3,000. It just doesn't make sense for me. So you really have to narrow down what you're doing. I mean, a lot of us post to social media for a lot of the shoots, and our end client posts to social media, and it doesn't go anywhere else. I do some that do prints. I do some that are professional headshots, and I do commercial work for lookbooks. So I have to have that lens, that camera, you know, that size megapixel for that reason. But if at this point in time you're starting out, or you're new, or you're working up to being something, I always say buy great glass. Now, any lens lineup in the Canon RF series is great glass, and you'll end up using it. But why not start with a less expensive piece of glass and move up as you need it, or as your business grows to be able to afford it? You know, taking that shot and having it seen for 2 seconds while somebody flips through a social media page, it wasn't worth the cost of the lens. It's not. You know, to have somebody say, oh, and double tap, and then it's gone. It took 3 seconds and your image is forgotten. It's relative. That's it. That's all I'm trying to say. So don't buy into this hype. Don't buy into the hype that you absolutely, positively have to have that L glass at this time. Work up to that L glass. You know, I've been doing this a long, long time, and I just bought a photography course. I know it sounds silly and stupid, and it's on lighting and studio and portraits, and I'm still learning. And this gentleman had something I needed to hear. I don't care if I learned one thing from his entire course. It was worth the price of the course for that one thing that may better my work or may make my life easier or just give me slight edge. Now, I would rather put money into that, into new glass or a new camera or a new card or new lights, because it's going to teach me something. And when you learn something and when you spend money on learning, and I'm talking from reputable photographers, not what's out there. You know, look around. There's some great photographers that are actually teaching. But spending money on that, that'll never go away. No matter what the glass is, no matter what the camera is, education will never get old. It's never going to degrade. It's never going to fall apart. It's never going to break. It's always going to be with you. It's going to make you better. I am excellent at studio lighting because I've been doing it for a long time. And I can say that because I know what I'm doing. Am I the best? Absolutely not. Do I have a lot to learn? Absolutely. And, you know, I mean, I know some young photographers look at my work and go, oh God, I wish I could do that with lights. Well, I look at other photographers' work and go, oh my God, I wish I could do that with lights. Again, it's relative. You know, I'm nowhere near the best, but I want to be, so I keep learning. And so I'm putting my money into education. And I put money into lenses, but I didn't buy the best. I didn't buy the L glass. I bought exactly what I needed for the job that I'm going to use it for. Anyway, save yourself some money. You know, work up to the glass you want. Don't have YouTubers tell you, you have to have this, you have to have that, because it's the best or because it's good for them. You know, it has to be good for you. And you can't put yourself in debt, credit card debt. And believe me, you'll get burnt out from this really quickly. I mean, quicker than you should. There's a lot of used equipment out there from photographers and, you know, hopeful photographers that tried it and said, oh my God, I'm overwhelmed. And they're so in debt, they have to sell their equipment just to get out of debt. You know, start small. I don't give a shit if it's an iPhone. Start small and hone your skills. Work with people, learn how to talk to people, learn how to interact with people so they're better when you're taking their pictures. Take it step by step. Buy one great piece of glass, one great body, and then move forward as you grow. It'll save you a lot of money. I hope this helps. I know this is trivial stuff to a lot of people on my channel. On my channel, that sounds so weird. But I just, you really don't need what they tell you you need. That's my only advice. You know, buying gear, I just heard this because I picked up the grip for the Canon R5 and because I like a grip, I like a bigger camera. You know, this whole thing with, you know, mirrorless cameras were made to be smaller and that's why they're around, and, you know, it's not why they're around. Mirrorless cameras are just a technology advancement in photography. It had nothing to do with being smaller. I just want to get that out there. I like a bigger camera. I like a heavier camera. I like something to hold on to. I like the weight of it. It helps with stability. Anyway, but you know, this person said, I bought the grip. I really don't use it for what it's meant for, but it makes me look more professional. If you're buying any piece of equipment, any piece of gear to make yourself look more professional, you know, take a step back and slap yourself. You know, you don't need to look more professional. Your photos need to look more professional. You know, you want to look more professional at a shoot, wear a tie, dress up. Ladies, I'm sorry, you know, just look your best make great images, you're going to look professional. Ladies, you don't have to wear a tie. Anyway, okay, I'm done. And I hope you have a great day. Looking forward to seeing you all again. And thanks.